This is Andy with QualityStocks. Today is Tuesday, February 8th, 2011. Today we're going to take a look at Jackson Hewitt Tax Services. This is a New York Stock Exchange company trading our ticker JTX. Chart caught my eye because it's holding this 50-day moving average and it set itself up a pretty nice support level. Those are the key things we're going to be looking for in the candles. Take a look at these indicators. Plenty of retracements happen with the MACD. Ideally, I would have liked to seen that hold over zero, but it's still giving hints of a possible turn here. Right in that area of zero, it's not making a new lower low. Of course, the buying pressure that came in yesterday, closing the stock up 3%, helped with the continuation of that turn. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Look for the bullish cross of the signal line. Very similar look to the PPO. See it trying to hold those long-term uptrends. That's what you want to see. Relatively neutral ADX, but in a pretty good position for a reversal, leaning towards the bullish side. See that negative DI starting to trend down. Broke the trend line it had right through here. Not in a bad reversal position. ADX basically flatlined. MFIs are right there near 50. That's the push we want to see. The 7, of course, can turn pretty quickly. Whipsaw back and forth. We're seeing the 14 and 21s trying to trend back towards 50. If there is buying pressure today, we'll see that 7 turn back up, and we should see all 3 of them trying to make that break to the north side, put it back in bull chart territory. A little bit of a downtrend in the accumulation distribution. That's to be expected as the price was retracing. Again, we're going to look for that trend line to be broken and for this to try and roll to the north side and try and take out this top and make a new high. Kind of a wedge look going on with the shaking money flow. First, right now, we're looking for that break of zero, show that buying pressure is overcoming selling pressure, and we'll want to see it take us out. Try and get back up into here around the 0.20 area, show that there's some strong buying pressure. CCI, a little bit of an uptrend to it. Of course, that break of negative 100, bottom feeders we'll use as a buy point. Not a lot of momentum in this stock at this point. We're going to look for that little wedge to get broken. Of course, we're going to want to see that break of 50. Tricks kind of following right along the same lines with the PPO and MACD. We're going to want to see it continue to hold that uptrend. Again, in a perfect world, it would have held zero, but at this point, it looks like it still has a chance of holding the trend line, trying to make a roll and continue the upward pattern of the tricks. RSI is just going right along with the idea that this might be trying to make a turn. All 3 in close proximity, getting ready to break through 50. That's what you want to see. Trading on the upper side of 50 is bullish, so they're in a pretty nice position as well at this point. This chart absolutely must hold right through that area. I'd really like to see it hold that 50-day and try and put together some kind of move right at this point. It's holding pretty good support right here between $1.52 and $1.54. Really want to see that hold. You can see it was an old support level. It was a little bit of a resistance level right through there. And we've got the 200-day after this thing bottomed, finally starting to look like it's going to make a bottom and try and roll back up. If this thing starts to make a turn, this chart could turn very bullish. It'll be trading over top of the 50-day, and it can make this 200-day start to curl and roll. And it'll take on a whole different look of an overall continuation, identifying this as a true bottom and trying to make itself a stronger move in the future. This isn't one of those one-day kind of plays. We're going to look for this to roll. We're going to look for this to continue to roll and just try and make some higher highs. Mandatory that it holds that support level. We'll look for volume, which is slacking off right now, which is good during the retracement. You want to see volume start to die out, and then you want to see buying pressure start to come back in. So you want to see these volume bars start to increase again and show that there's true interest in this stock. We want to see it back over top of that purple line, the 20-day moving average. And at that point, it'll be trading over top of all the moving averages. Resistance is kind of staggered through here. I'd look for $1.80 to be a little bit of resistance. Right there between $1.78, $1.80. Had a tough time when it broke through that. Tried to pop through it a couple different times. That's going to be a little bit of resistance for it. But I'd look for it to become much more stout up here around $2.05. Of course, ultimately looking for the new high of $2.45. But I think this $2 area is going to be a tough spot for it. I'd look for those 2 lines to be very important to this chart. Hold that support. Look for that resistance. Look for volume to come into it and see if this is going to roll itself out. It looks like the indicators are giving hints that's what it's going to try and do. It's important that it does, so it holds these long-term moving averages, which is important in the overall perspective of a chart. So these are things I'm going to have my eye on with JTX today and in the future. As always, merely my interpretation of the Jackson Hewitt Tax Service chart. This is Andy with QualityStocks. Thank you for watching and trade smart.